So, I'm going to read it like this again. I'm not sure which reading works best. Chapter 3, The Row. When I get home, there are reporters waiting outside my house. For some reason I find this surprising. Unable to muster so much as a friendly smile today, I strolled past them without comment. Closing the front door behind me, I sigh. It's good to be home again. The house is quiet. There might not be anyone else here right at the minute. I've been looking forward to having a shower and crawling into bed. Then my girlfriend makes her presence known. You've been all over the news, Mike, Eve Mackenzie says, as she steps out from the kitchen, folding her arms over her chest. There is a dark scowl marring her pretty face, and her lips are pursed in that familiar way that tells me she's mad at me. It shows in her voice, too. Her familiar American accent with a hint of her mother's Spanish lilt taut. What the hell have you done? My eyebrows sink low over my eyes, and I scowl back at her. Finding myself put on the back foot by her attitude, I have to bite my tongue in order to avoid this descending into an argument, and push past her into the kitchen. The smell of chocolate cake in here makes me realise how hungry I am. Spotting a tub filled with muffins, I lift the lid and extract one, taking a large bite from it. One of the girls has been baking again. I love it when they do that. Well? Eve demands, her tone impatient and expectant. This is good, I say through the mouthful, trying not to sound wound up as I turn to face her. She pouts at me, her frown deepening. She looks every inch the model that she is, with her neatly made-up face, long, bright red nails, perfectly plaited raven hair, and conservative trousers paired with a brightly coloured floaty blouse and shiny stilettos. First of all, you look amazing, I say after swallowing, and as I look her up and down. Sadly, my efforts to distract her and change the subject fall flat. She simply waves away my words with an impatient flap of her hand. I need to know what's going on, she says, virtually shouting at me now. Eve, don't do this. I scowl at her again and open the fridge, wishing she would leave. Excuse me, sorry. Do what? She cries, her voice heightened with frustration or impatience. I'm only asking about what you did. I didn't know that was so wrong. All she wants is a fight. Why does she have to be this way? Wishing I could climb inside and shut her out, I pull her beer out and shut the door. I was going in for a can of Coke, but I've decided I need a harder drink. I can't deal with her. Not now. Not today. I'm still kind of wound up from the run-in with that cop and feel like I'm really at my limit. Are you going to talk to me? She shouts, slapping my face. Gritting my teeth, I crack open the beer and take a swig before responding, trying to contain my temper. She can be such a child. When there's nothing else to say, she resorts to violence. And there I was thinking women were supposed to be the mature ones. Let you talk to me, I hiss. Sorry, I've really got a frog in my throat today. Clutching the beer bottle a little too tightly in my fist. Communication is a two-way street, Evie. Why did I have to find out about your pregnancy from a damn reporter? The news should be the happy and exciting prospect it normally is for couples, along with the terrifying implications that come with being responsible for bringing a new life into the world, instead of a dark secret. Why didn't she want me to know? Will you stop changing El Maltodito Subjeto? It's funny when I'm reading it in my head, but I'm reading Spanish out loud. El maldito sujeto, she yells, slapping me again harder than before. We're talking about last night right now. Is it true you were arrested for rape? Squeezing my eyes shut for a moment, I exhale slowly, trying to remain calm. Oh God, they know. I'm a dead man walking. The media's going to crucify me. It's true, isn't it? I growl, looking at her again and gesturing with the beer bottle towards her belly. I mean, is it even mine? How the hell can you ask me something like that? She demands, her tone sharp and angry, golden eyes blazing and hands on hips. Only one of us has loose morals. Of course I do. My rapid pulse is fury-driven. It looks like she's itching for a fight instead of willing to avoid one, but I refuse to take the bait. How long have you known? I asked curtly, my breath coming faster through my nose and my jaw clenching uncomfortably under the strain as I let the insult slide. About 5 or 6 weeks, Evie says, her voice almost normal for a moment. And you didn't think to say anything to me in all that time? I shout. I don't know why I'm still shouting. There's really no need. You're right, I should have told you, Eve admits, her eyes dropping to the floor for a moment. When she doesn't say anything else... I'm sorry, I think I'll scroll too far down. I take the silence as an opportunity to escape, and clutching the remains of the muffin in one hand and the beer in the other, I head for the stairs. Where are you going? She demands angrily. Eve, I can't do this with you right now, I say tightly, making my way upstairs. I've just been through hell. So that's it. Now how are you, honey? She yells, stomping up the stairs behind me. Never mind explaining anything to me. Oh, that's rich. The last thing she really wants is an explanation. If she wants a confession, she ought to try going to church. Still trying vainly to contain my temper, I dash up to the top floor of my 3-story house where my bedroom is. Especially what's going on with that woman, she says, the pitch of her voice rising to a furious shriek. Like what she was doing with your cell phone. So that's what happened to it. She's talking about Chrissy Hilton, but of course it's always that woman with Evie. She never gives her the courtesy of referring to her by name. My friendship with her has always been a sore point. Marching into the bedroom, I feel something small thump against my back, but I don't stop to see what it is. What you don't need to explain. I know what you've been up to, she screams, sounding to be close behind me. And you think I don't know? Tu barbosa bastardo, mala vida escura. There she goes again. That's how I know she's really furious. Eve dissolved into Spanish. But I don't need to request a translation. It isn't likely to be flattering. I swiftly closed the door behind me, sliding the bolt across and leaning against it, relieved to have a barrier between us. I know what she can be like. This is pretty tame. You fucking coward, she hollers, thumping on the other side of the door. Remembering I'm still clutching my snack, I take another bite of the muffin, my stomach gurgling as if to remind me that I'm hungry. But I see the way you look at other women, Eve calls out, her tone sharp and bitter, the way you smile suggestively at them and purr in their ears. I don't want to hear it, I say, raising my voice to make sure she hears me, and vent some of the frustration by walloping the door with my fist as hard as I can. Go away, Evie. But she carries on as if I didn't speak. Sorry, I need to drink to try and help my throat. It's not normally this bad. I will say. Holding them against your side a little too tightly when they want a photo with you, she snaps. Accepting their phone numbers, you bastard. I laugh bitterly and finish the muffin, chewing rapidly, and wash it down with beer, thinking of the little slips of paper women occasionally either hand me or stick in my pockets. You think it's funny? She screams, thumping the door again. Tu hijo de puta. I hope I pronounced that right. It's a blast, baby. Having this long list of honeys at my beck and call, why wouldn't I be laughing? I say stiffly. Sorry. This is apparently a bad day for reading. I really shouldn't bait her, but I'm past caring. Instead of insulting me some more, she just growls and starts beating the door, probably wishing it was my face, and it usually would be. You know what I do with all those phone numbers? I call out, my voice rising above the banging. The ones I don't lose I throw away. Why would I keep them when I have you? She stops testing the strength of the door for a moment. Then why do you accept them in the first place? I don't know. I don't know how to refuse them, I admit, rummaging in the bathroom cabinet for something that might make a dent in this damned hangover. Maybe she'll leave now, but that's probably too much to hope for. I don't hear the sound of any movement outside the bathroom. She normally wears herself out yelling and throwing things at me before storming out, but apparently not this time. I noticed you managed to avoid giving me any kind of answer about last night, Evie says, her voice almost normal now. Why didn't you just deny it like I expected you to? Locating a box of Nurofen, I extract 2 of the shiny, smooth white pills, tempted to take more, but I don't want to kill myself. sticking them in my mouth. I'm grateful they're easy to swallow without water. I'm having the worst day in the history of bad days, I call back, turning on the shower. What the hell did I say that for anyway? I know she's implying that I'm responsible for what happened last night. What I should have said is, if you have a problem with the truth, go take it up with God. Or just, bitch, go away and calm down. Oh, excuse me, Eve shouts, her voice high with indignation and righteousness. I feel like she heard my thoughts. I didn't say that out loud, did I? Maybe if I ignore her, she'll just go away. I never knew talking things through with your girlfriend was such an inconvenience. I only want to know what happened. How was I to know? I'm hardly even a priority, she goes on. Oh, for God's sake, woman. Annoyingly, the sound of the water blasting into the shower cubicle does little to obliterate her words. I start to undress, trying hard not to hear her talking. I can't do this with her now, but it doesn't look like I have much of a choice in the matter. She could just go home, although home for her is Los Angeles, so she could just retreat back to her hotel. That seems to be, after all, the reason she stays there. She refuses to stay with me in the house when she comes here. In my opinion, that's because she likes to have somewhere to go after she screamed at me for an hour where she won't have to look at me. I know you can't keep your hands to yourself, but did you have to take things that far? She goes on, the slight quiver in her stiff voice showing that her anger is still simmering under the surface. Pausing before climbing into the shower, I drain the remains of the beer, trying to drown the nightmare day behind a haze of alcohol. I'm exhausted, emotional, and her attitude is winding me up. Stupid, stubborn woman. Why is she still here? I didn't know you thought no meant yes, she snaps. Jesus Christ, woman, shut the hell up and go away already. Scowling at the shower head, I run my hands over the top of my head and try to block out her voice. It would be better if I could just enjoy the refreshing hot water washing over my body, but my head refuses to stop listening to her. Her voice has that annoying way about it that my brain won't stop paying attention to. I hate myself so much. You need to tell me who your other girlfriends are so I can make sure they know about this, she says, pausing to emit a wry laugh, her voice all angry and bitter. Exhaling through my teeth, I notice the steam rising around me in the cubicle and tilt my head upwards into the water flow. Closing my eyes, I try hard to focus on something else, like how good the hot water feels. It's almost relaxing until my insecure girlfriend's voice pipes up again from beyond the doorway. Looks like she has a lot to say, and it doesn't even matter that I'm not responding. I mean, everybody's going to hear about this because it has made all the news, but I should really drive it home that they will be responsible for breaking up our family if they keep your secret little rendezvous going. There she goes again, imagining all these affairs I'm supposed to be having. It's ridiculous. In the midst of running my hands through my hair, my fingers involuntarily curl up into fists and I growl in frustration, feeling myself losing the battle with my anger. Unless, of course, I decide there is no merit in continuing our relationship anyway, after your arrest last night. I mean, something as big as rape, well, that's enough to break up a relationship, wouldn't you say, Mike? I don't know if I can stand by you. Beautiful. We've gone from I'm a lousy boyfriend to I'm a rapist and our relationship is over in the space of about 5 minutes and I've hardly said anything. Separating my hands from my hair with difficulty. My jaw's so tight, the muscles are hurting, and my breathing angry gasps. I try to distract myself. Chrissy, beautiful Chrissy, remember how good her smiling face and wonderful laugh make me feel. You've really got nothing to say, she asks, her tone quite casual. No. It's not working. My muscles stiffening like mad, I turn off the water and step out of the shower, the anger bubbling inside me like a volcano on the verge of erupting. My hands quiver as I throw the towel around my waist. Throwing back the bolt, I jerk the door open, letting it rebound noisily off the bathroom wall. Eve starts, moving away from where she was leaning against the doorframe, and for a brief moment looks at me with all the anger absent. You bitch, I holler, sounding as American as her, and seriously tempted to hit her as the anger wins. How dare you come over here and tell me you actually think I raped that poor girl? Eve just stares at me, dumbstruck. Sorry, excuse me. Her mouth hanging open. Maybe I'll finally shut her up. You've known me for how many years now? What the hell is wrong with you women? I go on, aware I'm venting. I'm not even going to waste my breath responding to the rest of that rubbish. With that, I push past her, going into my bedroom, and start to rub myself dry with my back to her, my hands moving the towel in rough, angry swipes. "Don't you dare turn this on me," Eve shouts, sounding all hostile just as before. "What's wrong with you? I've known you for a long time, but I clearly don't know you as well as I thought." I knew it was too much to hope for. Eyeing her empty hands, I pushed my bedroom door closed before pulling on some clean underwear, still trying desperately not to lose my temper completely. Following them with a fresh pair of jeans, I can feel the anger building up even more instead of dying down. "So that's it, is it?" she questions, her voice unnaturally high and angry. "What you did last night is somehow my fault, and you've got nothing to say about it." She then thumps the door hard enough to make it fall open. Not that it takes much. The handle is shot, and unless I turn, the lock always falls open just by someone touching it. I turn to face her, my breath coming through my nose in rapid bursts, like a bull that has had a red rag waved under its nose, with a leather belt clinched tight in my fist. "Get out of my house," I growl, my voice low, and brandish the belt buckle in the air between us. "How dare you speak to me like that?" she shrieks, glaring at me as if I've wronged her somehow. Stepping forward quickly, she swings for me. Grabbing her wrist tightly in my empty hand, still brandishing the belt buckle in my other, I glare at her. "Go ahead, hit me again," I growl, my teeth clamped together. Hard. "I fucking dare you." "Ow," she gasps and looks uncertainly at the belt buckle in my fist. "You wouldn't." It's reassuring that she thinks so, but at this moment I feel terrifyingly capable of anything. I'm at my limit. All bets are off, Evie. Test me if you want to. After a beat, I release her, pushing her away, and move across the room, starting to thread the belt through the loops in my jeans. I can hear her uneven breathing behind me, and unfortunately it's not fading as it would if she was leaving. Sorry, can't get my words right around. "Why?" she shouts, apparently not fazed by my threat of violence. "You can't take it, can you? But you've no problem dishing it out." With my back to her, I can't see her lifting one of the dumbbells I keep on the shelves just inside my bedroom doorway and launching it at me. I'm not even aware she's done anything until something solid thumps against my elbow. "Ah!" I cry out, startled and hurt by the impact. Clutching my throbbing elbow, I look down to see the dumbbell at my feet. Turning to face her, shocked, I find my anger momentarily derailed. "Have you lost your mind, woman?" Evie responds by lifting the other one from the shelf and weighing it in her hands for a moment. Oh my god, is she trying to kill me? No, Evie, baby. I stutter, shaking my head and backing against the window. "Have you thought about this?" "You're pathetic," she says, her face warped into a malicious snarl, her voice a whisper, but the venom in her tone is clear. "I don't know who found the strength to overpower that girl last night." Her words renew the tightness in my jaw and fists, but my eyes remain on the weapon in her hands. She launches it into the air with a grunt, and I watch it sail towards me, able to anticipate its path and move aside before it can hit me. "Honey, why are you still here?" I question tightly, breathing a sigh of relief. "We haven't finished the conversation," Evie spits, looking around for something else. I laugh at this, genuinely amused, but having lost my patience with her, my anger and irritation darken the sound. I must have missed it. When did this turn into a conversation? My eyes fall on the bowl of apples on my dresser and the sharp knife lying next to it. If she notices that, I'm in real trouble. "So that's it, is it?" Evie laughs, sounding angry rather than amused, and drops her voice to a menacing growl. "You want to threaten me some more? Just go ahead and beat me. To use your deep puta, I never knew you could sink this low." With that, she grabs a mug from my shelves and throws it at me. "You didn't even ask what happened," I cry out. The small, empty and light, this missile is a lot easier to handle. I duck out of the way and it smashes against the wall above my head, the splintering ceramic raining down on me. "You son of a bitch," she mutters, looking around the shelves for more ammunition. I did ask, but you obviously missed it." Can't even say the right words. Anyway, carry on. "Don't bring my mother into this," I scowl at her, grabbing some clean socks and sitting on the bed to pull them on. If she's going to start with the breakables, I need to try and get my shoes on. "And do I have to remind you what your exact words were? Because believe me, you weren't asking." "I don't need to ask anyway, I already know," she hisses. "What do you want from me?" I growl, grabbing up my shoes. "I want a boyfriend who doesn't have wandering eyes, loose morals, and a violent temper," she says, throwing a paperback off the shelf at my head. My hands are shaking so hard with anger it's hard to tie my laces. Noticing the book out of the corner of my eye, I raise my arm. The book drops onto the bed after striking my arm, and I grab it up, tossing it back at her as she grabs another book. "You've got me confused with someone else," I spit. "Just stop it, just stop it." She squeals, seeming surprised. Sorry, I got distracted. Surprised I've thrown it back and bats it away before throwing the one she's holding at me. The book thumps against my shoulder, but it doesn't really hurt. "Well, I'm glad I got to see your true colours before this baby came along," Eve says, looking me up and down. "I actually believed that what happened last week with the brunette was an accident at the time, but after everything that's happened since, maybe it wasn't." I roll my eyes, and my lips settle in a tight line as I get to my feet. "Oh, sure, Evie," I drawl, my voice heavy with angry sarcasm. "I'm violent. That's why you were always bruised up, huh?" "I'll give it time," she says curtly with a sigh. "You've managed to treat just about every other woman like dirt. I don't know what makes me so special." Still panting, I exhale a couple of slow, deep breaths in an attempt to curl the anger still bubbling in my taut muscles. My heart is beating too fast. It's hard to stop the anger now. Why won't she leave me alone? What did I do to deserve this abuse? I'm glad her hands are free of any weapon. I step towards her purposefully. For a second she looks nervous instead of angry and takes a step backwards, grabbing something off the shelves without really looking to see what it is. "Don't touch me," she gasps, even though I'm not, and raises the hardback book above her head threateningly. I laugh angrily, hearing how menacing the sound is. "I need you to leave right now before one of us does something we'll both regret." "You did not just threaten me," she whispers, looking and sounding shocked. "Oh no, that really is the lowest." "I'm not messing around," I say, eyeing the book she is waving above her head. With a furious cry, she starts battering me with one of the sharp corners. "Ow!" I gasp, throwing up my arms. "Nor am I," she screams, continuing her assault. "Estúpido, sin valor, no es una broma de un hombre." "Please stop," I cry desperately, the book gouging into my arms and head. The familiar fear and pain overtakes me and I make myself small, but she does not stop. "You can threaten me all you want, you coward," she pants. "We both know you're incapable of following through with it." "Wait, what am I doing? I'm better than this." Flinging my arms into the air, I manage to bat the book away and out of her grasp. "I think you'll be disappointed this time," I pant, wishing my voice wouldn't shake, "if you don't leave right now." Before I can straighten up, she snatches one of the shoes off her feet and starts beating me with that instead. "Just stop it," she pants. "You make me sick." Gasping as the spiky stiletto heel drives into my arms, tears spring into my eyes. "Please stop, Evie," I pant, my voice raw with emotion. I feel so weak, being reduced to this by my girlfriend. There is nothing I can do but beg, and even then she won't stop. "You could kill me." She just laughs angrily and continues to strike me with the shoe. Saying it aloud makes me realise how dangerous this is. That stiletto heel is a deadly weapon, maybe as bad as the knife she hasn't yet seen, and if I don't do something it might spear my head, hello fractured skull and heavy blood loss. I remember news stories about women being killed after getting attacked with stilettos. "Damn it, I know you've been screwing that woman," she spits. "You're not even man enough to be honest with me about that, are you?" I try to grab the shoe, but I miss and feel the heel scrape my wrist. You're such a coward. You don't even have the guts to tell me you'd rather be with that Pincrena puta sucio than with me, Evie goes on. Resisting the urge to jump to Chrissy's defence, I make another grab for the shoe. My fingertips graze the sole but fail to get a grip on it. "I hate that woman so much. I don't know how you can stand to be around her," she pants. "You can tell her from me. If she doesn't keep her hands to herself, next time I see her I'm going to tear her stupid blonde hair out." "You're not..." Oh, hang on, I'm sorry, I've gone too far. Grabbing the shoe with no problem this time, the fear fades away and I straighten up again, ripping the shoe from her hand. "You're not going to touch her, you bitch," I growl, my voice shaking and my chest rising and falling rapidly as I hold the shoe out of her reach above my head. "This is about you and me. You leave her out of this." "Oh, that's right," Evie snaps, eyeing the shoe. "Jump to her defence like you always do." "Oh, you're so perfect, aren't you?" I snapped, matching her snide tone and sniffing to clear the moisture from my nose. "I never have to worry about who you are with or what you do or how much truth there is to the stories the tabloids run about you. Seems you've got a new grey every other week." Another angry laugh leaves her throat as she snatches the shoe off her other foot. "Look, Chrissy's been my friend for as long as I can remember," I pant, licking my lips, my eyes on the shoes she is preferring to swing towards my torso. Why does something beside that always have to be going on with her? She doesn't say anything. I shake my head and drop the shoe in my hand, backing away from her with my arms held out to my sides in surrender. "No, Eve." "I'm going to kill you," she growls, advancing on me and looking ever so capable. If she hasn't had enough by now, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with her. It seems there's just no getting rid of her today. She's already had blood. What more could she ask for? She did a drink. Let's see. My back against the window, I glance around looking for an escape or a weapon to put her off taking that shoe to my ribs and come up empty. Feeling desperate, I do something I have never done before. Pressing my palms against her shoulders, I shove her over. Sorry, I've gone down again. With a scream, she drops to the floor, the shoe slipping from her grasp, and stares up at me, the anger temporarily, can't even get the words out now, vanished, her eyes and mouth wide. "What's gotten into you?" she whispers. "You're never this violent." Damn. Guilt washing over me, I take a deep breath and step over her. Grabbing a clean t-shirt from the pile on my chair, I pull it over my head, grimacing as pain from the new marks on my body hit me. Why is she looking at me as if I'm the one who's done something unreasonable? Sorry, excuse me. "So that's it, is it?" she says, her voice still quiet and reserved. "This is you not holding back." In the doorway, despite the remorse, I'm still shaking with anger. Sorry, I turn in the doorway. Despite the remorse, I'm still shaking with anger, my jaw locked. Sorry. She is still on the floor. "You have no idea how hard I'm holding back," I hiss, the words sounding angrier than I intended, and she shivers as if understanding. "Go home, Evie." She starts to get to her feet, and I turn away, striding towards the stairs. "Where are you going, you coward?" she calls after me. "We're not through yet." "Oh, baby, I'm so done," I call back, stopping short at the top of the stairs, and instead going into the bathroom. "We're through, that's it." I rummage in the pockets of the trousers I took off, retrieving my pocket change and wallet. "No, not even close," she whispers, from close behind me. I turn to see her clutching a sharp knife in her hand. Oh, dear God. I use it to cut apples as I eat them, but it never seemed like a dangerous thing to do before. She's definitely trying to kill me. The look on her face is more terrifying than I've ever seen it. I don't doubt that she'd use that knife on me. "Why, Evie," I lick my lips and hold up my hands, backing across the small room. "Come on, be reasonable." Slowly matching me step for step until the shower cubicle door is against my back. The look on her face is verging rather aptly on murderous. I don't think I've ever been this scared she is going to do me serious harm before. But I'm still also mad at her. The conflicting emotions make me feel like I'm going to be sick. Or that could just be the combination of ibuprofen and alcohol. "Reasonable?" She parrots, her head tilting to one side like she has a crick in her neck. She lets out a furious roar and screams her next words at me. Nothing about this situation is reasonable. Swallowing past the dryness in my throat, I keep my eyes on the knife in her hand. There's this great invention. You should try it sometime. It's called walking away," I rasp. She has the knife tight in her fist, the tip pointing towards the floor, and raises it up in the air. She looks almost like a maniac from one of those slasher flicks, angrier than I've ever seen her. She has never scared me more. As she brings the blade down on me, I have nowhere to go, and no way to defend against it. Throwing my arms up between us in a defensive X, probably attempting to shield myself, the knife slashes across one of my wrists. "Ah," I gasp, biting down on my sore lip, feeling the sting from the broken skin, and the warmth of the blood that leaps out of the new wound. My face pulled into an agonising grimace, I watch her raise the knife ready to go at me again. What is she doing? She's never come out with a knife or anything else that could kill me before. Watching her carefully, when she moves her arm towards me again, I bat it away with one of mine. It was a good block, but she does not drop the knife. Are you sure you want to play this game with me? I pant, my tone deadly serious as I stare back at her. You know my threats aren't empty. I'm capable of doing you serious harm. Just think about it for a minute. I don't doubt your physical strength. It's your ability to use it on me that's in question, she snarls. You forget I know you. You're a big coward. You won't hurt me, so just stop with el mierda. My head is still spinning with everything that has happened. It all feels like a dream, and I'm not quite sure whether this is actually happening. She changes the position of the knife in her hand, so that the tip of the blade is pointing towards the ceiling before driving it towards my stomach. Holy Jesus, she is trying to kill me. With a shocked gasp, I instinctively raise the knee up to uncover my crotch and stupidly grab at the knife with my hand. The blade bites into my palm, the point tearing a slit in my t-shirt and breaking the skin on my stomach as I try to push it away from my body. I don't know how much more of this I can take without resorting to something horrific. I know she's going to kill me if I can't get this knife off her, but I can't bring myself to punch her. It's too much, too violent. She dishes out more than enough for the both of us, and if I start giving it back to her, what does that say about me? There must be another way. Panting hard, I grab her wrist, gritting my teeth against the pain. Getting cut with a knife hurts like hell. I spin her into my arms, not sure what else to do. Ah, she shrieks, fighting against me. Let me go. Tu hija de puta. I don't want to hurt you, Evie. I pant as she thrashes about in my arms, trying to break free. Don't force my hand. It feels like I'm trying to pin down a bear. She stamps on my feet, but having already discarded her stilettos, this doesn't hurt. Get off me, she hisses, clawing at my arms with her free hand. Tu bastardo. I twist her arm behind her back, pushing her up against the sink, and even though she cries out, she does not release the knife. Give me the knife, you stupid woman, I pant, smacking her arm with my other hand. She kicks me, reaching back with her free hand and trying to scratch me. Let me go, I'm going to start screaming, she cries, still sounding furious. Oh, Jesus, that's all I need. I know she'll do it too, but obviously it's not my biggest worry. She twists beneath me. Turning to face me and then starts smacking me, open-palmed in that stupid, harmless way women seem to have a knack for doing. I mean it, she hisses. You're hurting me. Let go of me already. No, I can't do that, I pant, shaking my head. Give me the fucking knife. Her open-palm smacks quickly graduate back to the hard-fisted punches I'm more familiar with. It's surprising how much her punches hurt, considering how slight a woman she is. Then she gasps a deep breath and starts screaming just like she promised. The sound is very high-pitched, painfully so. Clamping my free hand across her mouth, I cut off her screams. Just let me have it, for God's sake, I gasp. Instead of surrendering the knife, she presses my fingers into her mouth with her other hand and bites down hard. I hiss through my teeth sharply, snatching my hand away and tempted to slap her on the recoil. I managed to resist the urge. Yanking her other hand towards my face, she clamps her teeth round my hand and bites down. Snatching my hand away, I watch her raise the knife again. Panting hard and sweating, I back away from her, wishing the bathroom was bigger. Eve, I gasp, shaking my head as she closes the space between us, the knife still ready in her hand. No. I know, it's no longer about my anger. It's no longer about her anger, or mine. I have given her fair warning, and she is as intent as ever on doing me serious harm. If I let her cut me with that knife again, it could be the one time that kills me. There's no way of knowing. The craziest thing is, she doesn't appear to care. Sorry. My hands balled into fists, blood already spilling out of me in numerous places. I bite my lip, watching her hand as I prepare myself to do something horrific. The most sickening thing about it is, the knife aside for a second, I want to do it. When did that happen? When did I turn into the kind of brute I have always rallied against? I see the moment she is about to slash at me with the knife again, and react quickly, pulling back my hand. I hold my breath as I bring the back of it down hard and fast, the motion as quick as a lightning strike. That's the end of the chapter. That's not too bad, I suppose. The reading time, considering. So, I hope you enjoyed that. and I'll see you soon for chapter 4.